What is up, Team Fortress 2 gamers? My name is RiceNoodles, and today I'm going to be going over the top 5 worst weapons for the man of the hour, the Scout Man. But before the video starts, about 99% of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you can please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it's effortless, and you can always change your mind later. Anyways, with that being said, enjoy the video. So, coming in at my number 5 spot, we've got the one and only Criticola. Now, the Criticola, back in the day, used to be a really good overpowered weapon, but unfortunately, the Jungle Inferno update came out and nerfed this weapon into the dirt, causing this weapon to be mediocre at best. Now, the Criticola's stats consist of, while effect is active, each attack mini-crit, and sets mark for death for 5 seconds. So basically, you do mini-crit damage, and in return, you receive taken mini-crit damage. FYI, mini-crits do 35% more damage. The concept of this weapon is I do more damage and I take more damage. Now, the Criticola is fun, especially when paired with the Force of Nature at point blank range. But this sort of leaves you vulnerable to being one-shotted by enemy Demo Man pills and nearly all of Soldier's rockets. And for that reason, the Criticola earns the number 5 spot on my list. At my number 4 spot, we got the cousin to the Criticola, the Bonk. Now, I know some of you guys are probably questioning why I'm putting Bonk on the list, but hear me out. The stats of the Bonk is drink to become invulnerable for 8 seconds. Cannot attack during this time, damage absorbed, will slow you when the effect ends. So the Bonk grants 8 seconds of invincibility, but you cannot do any damage when the Bonk is active, making this weapon a bootleg version of Uber. Now, the downside to using the Bonk is once the effect is over, you have 5 seconds of slowness based on the amount of damage absorbed. If the Scout takes over 200 damage while under the influence of Bonk, it makes the Scout slower than a heavy on steroids. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Bonk makes a good distraction on sentries, but if the engineer is using a Wrangler, you're not really fooling anybody. And also, taking on a sentry head on will make the Scout absorb so much damage, when the Bonk is over, he is practically dead by the slowness.
Like RiceNoodles, it's good for taunt killing!
It is, but taunt killing takes so long that it's easy to avoid. So Bonk Atomic Punch, you earn the number 4 spot on my list. So coming in at my number 3 spot, I've got the Sun on a Stick. Now the Sun on a Stick stats are 100% critical hit versus burning players, plus 25% fire resistance while deployed, and a minus 25% damage penalty. To sum it all up, you do guaranteed crit damage to opponents who are on fire, as well as a 25% fire resistance while the weapon is active. The downside is you do a negative 25% damage overall. The extra fire resistance is nice, but let me put this in perspective. Scout can't light people on fire. This forces Scout to have to follow a pyro or a cow mangling soldier around just to maximize the crit damage. But even then, the crit damage is so garbage at merely 79 damage. You're better off using all but one other melee weapon compared to this piece of trash. And on that note, that is the reason why the Sun on the Stick takes my number 3 spot on my list. So I just said you're better off using all but one other melee weapon compared to the Sun on a Stick? Yeah, so this is the other melee weapon. Coming in at my number 2 spot, I've got the Candy Cane. Now the Candy Cane stats consist of on kill, a small health pack is dropped, and a 25% explosive damage vulnerability on wearer. And that's it. For every kill you get, your enemy drops a small health pack which heals 25 HP, and the downside is you take 25% more explosive damage at all times. This means that any direct demo pill has the ability to one-shot you at any time, unlike the Criticola. Also, in TF2, sometimes your teammates steal your kills, causing the health pack to not even drop at all. The only way I see this weapon being useful is in maybe medieval mode, because it drops 2 health packs compared to the 1, but barely anyone plays medieval mode. Honestly, this weapon is garbage. Don't use it, and on that note, that is the reason why the Candy Cane takes my number 2 spot on my list. So, coming in at my number 1 worst weapons for Scout, I've got the Babyface Blaster. Anyways, the stats of the Babyface are on hit, builds boost, run speed increased with boost, a minus 34% clip size, 10% slower move speed on wear, boost reduced on air jumps, boost reduced when hit. The upside of using this weapon is you get a speed boost whenever you deal damage. The boost caps out when the Scout deals 100 damage though. At max speed, the Scout moves 40% faster than a normal Scout. The downside of this weapon is that you only have 4 shots in the clip, making each shot more crucial to getting that boost. And on start, you move 10% slower. and the boost gets reduced whenever you double jump or take damage. FYI, for every point of damage the Scout takes, his boost gets reduced by 4%. This means if a Scout takes 25 damage, he loses all his boost. For example, in this clip here, you see I have a full boost meter, and I take one bullet from a heavy and my boost is gone. So what is the point of the boost, just so you can run fast and then lose it immediately? Also, when the Scout decides to double jump, his boost gets reduced by 75%. The playstyle of this weapon is just so bad. This weapon tries to make Scout not double jump, which is one of his core abilities. I might as well play Fast Scout as heavy rather than use this piece of shit of a weapon. And that is the reason why the Babyface Blaster is the worst weapon for a Scout. Well, did you agree with my list? Keep in mind that this list is purely my opinion on the worst weapons for Scout, so you have the right to agree or disagree. If you disagree with my video, please tell me why and what are your personal top 5 worst weapons for Scout in the comment section below. Please consider giving me feedback on the video because I'm trying to improve my quality in my videos. Also, I want to shout out my friend Garlic Bud who helped me out with this video, giving me ideas, inspiration, and help with the gameplay overall. Anyways, this is the end of the video, so if you like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And yeah, it's been RiceNoodle, guys. Take care and peace.